Well, first, I want to thank the chairman for holding this hearing. It is a breath of fresh air, particularly for us new members who have just joined the Congress, that the Natural Resources Committee is undertaking this important work, and that its first hearing is on such an important topic. I would respectfully disagree with Dr. Curry in terms of your framing around the existential nature of this issue. I think climate change is an existential threat. I think of this in the context of being a new young father. I am 34 years old. My wife and I just had our first child, a daughter named Natalie. She's 5 months old. And much of our work here in the Congress is ultimately making sure that the world she inherits is a better one than perhaps the world that we inherited. And one need look no further than the IPCC report and a variety of other studies to just see how catastrophic the consequences of climate change will be for her generation if we don't take decisive action and if we don't do so now. And I can tell you that certainly in my community in Colorado, we are feeling the impacts of climate change already. I have a report here that I'll respectfully ask to be submitted into the record, the most recent report from the Department of Interior with respect to the impacts of climate change in Rocky Mountain National Park. I represent Colorado's 2nd Congressional District, Northern Colorado. 52% of my district is federal public land, and we see very clearly the impacts of climate change in Rocky Mountain National Park and elsewhere. My constituents see it every day. Rising temperatures have led to snow melting faster, which causes increased flooding and erosion and negatively impacts Colorado's fresh water supply, 70% of which comes from our snow. At Rocky Mountain National Park, the studies have shown that temperatures have risen 3 to 4 degrees, significantly affecting the plants and animals that call the park home. I am very excited about the opportunity to take comprehensive, holistic, and significant action to solve this issue. Actions like the Green New Deal, which I support along with several of my colleagues. I've introduced legislation to protect over 400,000 acres of public lands in my state in Colorado so that we can ensure that those lands are not sold to the highest bidder and opened up to oil and gas development and the rest. So at the end of the day, I think this was the defining issue of our time, and I thank the witnesses with respect to their activism in trying to push for common sense solutions that will ultimately protect the planet for all of our children.